My name is Carrie Kelly, and Sarah's my coworker. She drove from Elmira, the home office, this morning to be with us. And I'm super excited to have Drew Detzner here again. Drew was with us last winter, and Drew is a nutritionist who practices in New Berlin. Actually, he opened up his new practice very recently called 3D Wellness, whereby he is setting up in-person and virtual training, education for clinicians and their staff on food, nutrition, whole food supplements. So we're super excited to have Drew here today. So Drew is here with us today to talk about diets, certain diets, and he's going to really be presenting through a case study fashion. And then also we're going to delve a little bit into protein needs, and then if time allows, we'll delve into seasonal allergies, just because that's what's very apropos right now. And so, all right, Drew, you can start. Thanks.
Thanks for being here.
Sure.
Yes, Steve.
Like having a broad group, like Carrie was just telling. It's interesting to me. I've trained dentists before. I've trained PT, chiros, nutritionists. I'm always hoping I'm going to get someone who walks in one of these times and says, well, I'm a plumber. This all just seemed really interesting to me. Like Carrie said, I've been a nutritionist. Been doing this work for 14 years. And it was about 2010. Went to my first standard process conference. And I saw a guy named Dr. Michael Dobbins present. Okay, so people are saying, it's a good guy to see present, okay? He got about 10 minutes into his presentation, and I said to myself, I absolutely want to be that guy someday. Every time I get to do one of these, it's a huge deal for me. It means so much. So I'm really glad all of you could be here, first of all. And then I also want to thank Standard Process for putting this on today. So if you'd be so kind, a little applause for Carrie. On these slides, you're going to see a bunch of info. This is from things I've experienced clinically. These are real people. You're going to see a lot of patterns. There's some unique things. I love the Spanish black radish Mintran special today.
Yeah.
It's going to be totally applicable by the end of this presentation. I have about 30 or 40 minutes worth of talking planned for you, but then I definitely want to hear questions, comments, concerns as they come up. I expect you to eat while I talk. About 90% of what I have prepared is just to be educational. The other 10% is strictly for my own amusement. So you might need some clarification, okay? If you advance the first one for me. Great. So the first case study we're going to talk about keto. Does anybody already have clients or patients doing keto? Yeah. So here's some basics on it. Keto, first of all, is short for ketogenic, meaning the creation of ketones in the body. You're going to see that it's high fat, moderate protein in most cases, and low to no net carbs. And I have a little note about what net carbs are. It's total carb content minus the fiber. Okay? So for a lot of people, they have heard, especially on social media, this is the best thing you can do for swimsuit season. Okay? Again and again. Oh, you want abs, you want to get fit, you want to lose the baby weight. There's all these different ads all over websites and social media that keto will do it for you. Part of the reason people like it, you can do it if you're a vegan. You can do it as a vegetarian, you can do it if you're an omnivore, you can do it as a carnivore. It's easy for all these different disciplines of food to still work under the heading of keto. Problems with it that I see regularly, people who do keto are prone to muscle cramps and constipation. Comes up again and again. They might still be losing weight, which is what they were after in the first place, but their sleep is trashed because their calves won't stop cramping. Yeah?
Will we have access to these slides at all? Or?
Sure.
Yeah, I could email them to all of you. Yeah.
But there is a test at the end. All right, questions so far?
Why the cramping?
Why the cramping? That's a really good question. So for a lot of people, the reason the cramping is taking place is because they have digestive insufficiency. So their body isn't able to process that much fat, even if it's from the perfect sources. And all these reserves of minerals are being sent to help liver, gallbladder, pancreas function. And then the muscles don't have anything left over to work with. That makes sense? It's kind of a bummer. They were trying to do the right thing. All right, so this client had some keto woes, okay? Female, age 37, 5'5", 240 pounds. So she felt like she had weight to lose. Her hips were narrower than her waist, and her shoulders were narrower than both of us. So for her, that's what got her attention. She didn't like the proportions. It wasn't as much about the number on the scale for her as it was that she felt she had lost her womanly hourglass figure. 1 week on keto, she had itchy skin, she had headaches. Everybody who had done keto in her life said, don't worry, it's just the keto flu. Okay, yeah, and here's people say, yeah, I've heard something like that before. Does anybody have an idea about the itchy skin and headaches, what organ that's probably telling us? Gallbladder, liver, yep. 3 weeks on keto. Her bowels transitioned from daily and easy to every third day. She started needing laxatives. She started having muscle cramps across her entire body. She was told keto would help her lose weight, and she would lose it faster if she could pair keto with exercise, but she had too many muscle cramps to complete a workout. Okay? This woman became very confused about if keto was right for her or not. But again, don't worry, that's just part of the keto flu. You'll get past that. You'll be okay. About 3 weeks in, she was up 5 pounds. She was told 3 weeks in she'd be down 10 to 15 pounds. So her frustration is growing. She already knew there was a problem. Now she has a set of new problems. These muscle cramps are starting. She has gained weight that she wanted to lose.
What caused her to gain the weight?
I'm sorry?
What caused her to gain the weight?
She was backing up. Her food that she was eating was not leaving. Okay? The entrance was open. The exit, not fully functional. All right. So here's some keto pros. Here's what you're going to do to help somebody with keto if this happens to them. After 5 weeks of keto, I can't remember if it was a neighbor or a coworker, but they said, all right, this isn't working. Don't worry. I got a guy for this sort of thing. Go see me. When I met with her, I determined liver congestion was contributing to her high histamine levels. What symptom was the high histamine? Itchy skin. Very good. Pancreatic dysfunction was another thing I found with her, especially low enzymes. And then high mineral need, very likely due to the reduced produce intake. She was trying to do less than 10 net carbs a day. She would have a small head of broccoli and a slice of apple. Slice.
Oh my God.
Not an apple. A single slice from an apple.
Are they mostly eating meat?
Yeah. For the most part, there's a lot of bacon. There's a lot of encouragement to do the fattier cuts of meat, which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with fatty cuts of meat and bacon. Okay? But we got to balance. Because the other flip of that makes me think of a client that did keto as a vegetarian. And she was told to get the biggest spoon she could in the peanut butter or almond butter jar and just eat that, right? Because it's high fat. And that's what keto is. So she was just trying to play by the rules. It didn't work for her. So here's the strategy we started. Okay? Every other month, it was either Livoplex or Alboplex. These are both basically liver multivitamins. Okay? They have slightly different ingredients, so we rotated them because her body wanted all the things. It's a good point I need to make right now. You're going to hear me say a lot about plexes and a lot about combo products. I love combo products. Okay? I love it because when I give somebody Livoplex, I'm actually giving them 6 different standard process supplements. But they're only buying 1 bottle. And every morning at breakfast, they're only opening up 1 bottle. So they don't burn out on the cost or the number. Okay? When I give somebody Alboplex, it's the same thing. When we get into Diaplex and all these other ones, you're going to hear me say, I used another combo product. Because then people are leaving those visits having bought 3 or 4 bottles, and it's not overwhelming to them to do that. Okay? They can commit in taking and in paying. So we started, go back forward.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. So we had to get those histamines cleared out of those Liver Love combo products, and within just a little bit of time, she started to notice, my skin still has some itch, but I know it's less than it was. Cool. So she knew it was working. I gave her Diaplex, which is basically a pancreas multivitamin, and it has some liver and gallbladder perks to it also. So this was something I knew that she was probably going to be on long term. When I'm working with people on weight loss, I do put a lot of emphasis onto the pancreas. I find Diaplex is really helpful. And then you're going to see this, Mintran and Spanish black radish. Minerals, minerals, minerals. These people need minerals. The foods that we are given today, even the highest quality versions, have the same number of calories as they had 70 years ago, but they got less minerals than they had 70 years ago. So what's happening is we're getting the same amount of calories, but not the same amount of support to process those calories the right way. So what I'm doing with pretty much every client I ever get is this combo of Mintran and Spanish black radish to make sure that I'm making up for what should have been in their food all along. That make sense? It's kind of a bummer, but it's what we're up against. My clients tend not to mind taking 4 bottles of stuff when I explain that to them. This is where we're at. We're just making do with what we got. Questions on this page?
How did you come up with your diagnosis? Did you blood test or hair analysis?
A couple of things, yeah. So I muscle test, and then I do hair analysis. That combo for me, it's the marriage of the art form of nutrition, the muscle testing part, with the science. There's a good chunk of science to muscle testing, but the hair analysis is this irrefutable third-party lab work thing that I'm comfortable with my clients taking into their medical doctor and saying, hey, I did this. Instead of saying, what's this guy? And he pushed on my arm and pressed on my vagus nerve and said this was okay.
So what company do you use?
For hair analysis, analytical research lab.
Do you saliva test or anything like that?
No, we have somebody in-house at the clinic who does a lot of hormone testing via saliva analysis. But with my people, it's muscle testing and hair analysis. Good question. Other questions? Cool. We'll keep going. All right, so keto does work. You just got to work it the right way. Okay? 2 weeks with me. The new 5 pounds she had gained was lost. So within 2 weeks, I'm already like her favorite person. Okay? Her bowels are moving daily again. I credited the Livaplex, Albaplex, because they do such wonderful things to lubricate the intestines. And then she had no more itchy skin, like I mentioned. Her liver was clearing histamines again the right way. A month in, she was down a total of 11 pounds lost. Her bowels are still moving daily. She has no itchy skin, and now her headaches have stopped. I am seriously her favorite person at this point. 6 weeks in, 14 pounds down, all the same benefits. 2 months in, 16 pounds down, all the same benefits. Now real quick, she lost a quick 6 pounds and 11 pounds, right, in this time frame? Do you think I was worried when she only lost 2? No, you were all backed up and all jammed up and itchy with headaches and muscle cramps. That's all gone. We'll get there. 10 weeks in, 22 pounds down. That's almost 10% of her body mass that's gone. That's 1% body mass a week. It's just, I love that. Bowels are good, skin is good, no headaches, libido is back. So 3 months in, the husband loved me, okay? Because think about it, this lady is down a bunch of weight and her libido's back. How is she spending her spare time? Okay? So, husband, you're having fun. It's a very polite way of putting it. So the husband started to love me. He's a client now also. Questions on this tablet?
Did you take her off of keto, did you say that?
Nope. Didn't have to, just had to get her body to work with it. She was mineral deficient, her liver was congested, her pancreas wasn't happy. We addressed those things, then keto works. Keto works, but you have to have the right things in place.
And she was on no prescription GI drugs.
And how long was she doing the keto?
Keto, she did that for about 2.5 years. And then she went to something much more moderate with her carbs, where she hovers at about 70 to 80 grams a day. For her, that's way more sustainable, and she, during that time, got pregnant. So trying to do keto and have a newborn. Yeah, she said the first time she went to an apple orchard and she plucked an apple and ate the whole thing, she almost cried.
Yeah.
Instead of the one slice of apple. Would you forward it?
Yes.
So what I'll show you with all these case studies is what we did long term. Okay. So she liked keto because it has online support, it has resources, community, recipes, right? Facebook groups, Instagram posts. To healthfully continue her keto, we put her on Beta Call. Beta Call is an unsung hero from the standard process lineup. It is actually a combo product. It has AF beta food in it. It has calcium lactate in it. It's got hepatrophin PMG in it. It's got a whole host of things. I think it is criminally underused. Zypan, 6 a day. Have you guys ever heard of Zypan at the standard process? Big time pancreas support. It's also good for the stomach, but the pancreas is why I used it in this case. Mintran, new size, 4 a day. Okay. Have we seen that the Mintran tablets are the bigger size now? Makes it way easier to get people adequate Mintran. Spanish black radish, 4 a day. Liver health, gut health, joint health. Spanish black radish is my personal desert island supplement. If you're sending me somewhere I can only have one supplement, it's going to be SBR. And then Immuplex, because she's a school teacher. She has all those little vectors for germs 5 days a week. So she just wanted to make sure she had some kind of baseline thing. I like Immuplex for a lot of reasons. In this case, it also got me her daily zinc need covered. Immuplex is wonderful for selenium and zinc needs. Questions coming to mind about the maintenance plan?
That's forever.
Not necessarily. I'm sure other stuff will come up in her program. Her and her husband want to have more kids, so stuff will shift at some point. But yeah, this is what I would say if somebody wants to do keto long term, like she did it more than 2 years. It would be a combo like this to be able to do keto the right way and to get all the benefits of keto.
I'm kind of skeptical about doing the same diet forever and ever because my diet has changed through the years.
Oh yeah.
I can't see keto not changing to something else.
And my answer to that would be we should consider doing keto, but still having a lot of different food variety. Does that make sense? So that we're not stuck with the same
It
thing.
doesn't sound like keto. It just sounds like a good diet.
Yeah, I mean that would be that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but still very low carb, still very high fat. It's just that we're rotating those sources, so it's not filet every day.
Things like that. You talk about breads.
Say it again?
Carb, you talk about breads, cakes, ice cream.
On keto, it's all carbs, so even your fruits and your veggies.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That's part of the reason people lose so much weight, huh? Because all of a sudden you're dropping all the carbs except for maybe net 10 or 20 grams. That drops that way down, your body turns on itself for the fuel.
When Dr. Dobbins, one of the seminars talked about is keto. He's a keto nut,
Yeah.
but he says he has turnip greens and beet greens on his table all the time.
Yep.
He did talk about going overboard with it.
Yeah. Now what he was talking about, if he had chard or if he had beet greens, you can get a couple of giant leaves of beet greens and your net carbs is 1.
Yeah.
So you can fill up on that stuff and still be very keto. Now to your point, the idea of whatever diet we're going to use, whatever eating style we're going to use, food variety is still really important.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not getting stuck in just like, oh, only the same foods, because then you're only getting the same nutrients. Other questions on case study 1? Cool, so that was the keto case. Okay, let's go to case study 2.